Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and yeah, it has been quite a while since I have posted, and recently I haven't been posting that much on this channel, not as much as I at least wanted to when I first started, but the reason behind that is simply because usually I only get around to making videos on this channel when there's a topic that actually truly interests me, or I really want to speak out about something that's important, and that definitely has to be the case today, so that's why I'm making this video. But yeah, to get straight into it, as most of you probably already know, if you don't know, then obviously you don't have access to either Twitter or YouTube or basically the internet, or you're like 5 years old and you're just playing Fortnite all day long, I don't even know. But there was a very unfortunate mass shooting that happened in New Zealand just yesterday. As a matter of fact, I found out about it like literally only an hour after it happened, and yeah, the very details of it were extremely disturbing, and especially it's disturbing considering it had to do with YouTube itself. Now, of course, lots of these mass shootings happen. I'm not entirely sure how many of them happened last year, but this one was definitely an extremely bad one, an extremely deadly one, I believe. Almost 20 to 30 people have been assumed to be dead, which is really bad, obviously, and that's just probably one of the most terrible mass shootings we've had like in a very, very long time in recorded history. But the thing that I feel like is going to make this whole situation a lot worse is what the actual shooter did. More specifically, what the shooter said in the manifesto and right before he actually committed this atrocious crime. Essentially, the shooter said subscribe to PewDiePie right before he went in and actually did the crime. So because of that, obviously everyone on YouTube has, or for the most part, most people on YouTube have spoken out about this and have basically come to the conclusion that we all know what's going to happen next. Even I tweeted out right when I heard that. I knew exactly what was going to happen after that. It's obvious that the mainstream media, oh my god, the mainstream media is going to just go absolutely ridiculous over this. It's gonna be the most, I mean, literally, I don't even care about being demonetized. It's gonna be the biggest shitstorm that we've ever seen on YouTube in terms of YouTubers being blamed for inciting violence. Obviously, in this case, more particularly PewDiePie, because that's all the mainstream media wants to do, just slander people, just to try to push their agenda. And obviously, one of the mainstream media's agendas is to slander PewDiePie because it gets them attention. And, you know, obviously the media doesn't really like YouTube, since YouTube is a big competitor for their, you know, traffic and online, you know, sources of views and stuff like that. It's obvious that they're going to take this situation and then they're just going to jump right on it and instantly say that, you know, PewDiePie was the cause of this, which obviously it wasn't. But today, I just kind of want to discuss certain viewpoints that I've seen on Twitter and all over the place that I just find completely stupid, idiotic, and just absolutely retarded. I don't even know how many more synonyms I could use to describe it, but just really stupid, asinine stuff that I've read basically talking about this whole situation. So more particularly, I'm just going to bring up two specific tweets that I found online that I feel are really, you know, they just really don't make much sense at all. So this happens to be the first tweet that I want to go over, and essentially I'm just gonna read them. I'm just gonna read it verbatim, just exactly the way it's written. The Christchurch shooter posted a manifesto on 8chan and shouted subscribe to PewDiePie before opening fire on the mosque, live streaming the whole thing. The internet is 1000% a vehicle for right-wing radicalism. So obviously it's kind of weird because the way it was written was, at first it kind of appeared to be like a news story, like he was just announcing it or something, and then he went into basically use it to spread his opinion on right-wing radicalism being 1000% endorsed on the internet, which is obviously a fucking stupid-ass fucking claim. I mean, but trust me, it gets worse. So the follow-up tweet to this was, "Fuck you, PewDiePie fans. Your boy had too many racism, Nazism scandals to write off as coincidence or edgy comedy. His jokes aren't funny and he's fucking trash." Okay, so my first impression on this guy when I see his first tweet is, oh, okay, it's just another random cuck blue check Twitter user which just, uses any horrible situation to denounce the internet as being endorsing right-wing radicalism. But then the follow-up tweet is when I really started to realize that this dude just might be retarded. I don't know just how much of a loser you need to be to actually take a situation like this where 30 people literally just died and literally use it to hop on the hate train to a YouTuber that you don't like. And you know what? To be straight up honest, are we even really surprised that someone who would write that stupid shit looks like this? He's from Montreal, Quebec. And also, yep, suspicions have been confirmed. The dude has less followers than me, but of course, he's got a blue verification badge because Twitter for some reason likes this kind of shit and then just verifies anyone who says stuff like this. But anyways, man, let's just move on to the next piece of evidence. Alright, so the next example that we have right here is a tweet from Barack Obama, which obviously everyone knows is the former president of the USA. And he simply just writes a tweet expressing his condolences towards the families and the people that were affected in the New Zealand shooting, just like any normal human being with a fully functioning brain would, And that's all this is. It's simply just a tweet expressing how it was obviously an extremely bad situation, and that all of us need to stand together to go against hatred in all of its forms. So it's a pretty basic tweet. There's not much to it, right? I mean, any normal person would just, read this tweet and then just move on with their day. But unfortunately, that's not the case because this is Twitter. And like I said, Twitter is full of a bunch of mad lad cucks that have nothing better to do except spread their retarded political agendas everywhere because they literally have nothing better to do. So one reply in particular got my attention, and I'll just read it straight verbatim just like I did the last time. All of us must also stand against the President of the United States inciting violence. Just take a moment to fully comprehend the fact that someone actually said that in reply to a tweet that was spreading condolences for a situation in which 30 people lost their lives. Some person on this planet actually decided to go and use this as an opportunity to spread their hatred towards the current president of the United States. First of all, we got so much to discuss here. Number one, I don't know how pathetic your life has to be to use a situation of which, like I said, 30 people were killed to try to spread your political agenda, because if you're the type of person to do that, then I'm sorry, but you just might be the biggest loser that I've ever seen in my entire life, and that's saying something coming from me. Why can't we just take politics and set it aside for one fucking second just to simply acknowledge the loss of human life in this situation, instead of simply using it as a way to hate Trump? Quite frankly, man, I don't give a shit whether or not you hate Trump or you don't like the President of the United States. I don't care. That has literally no relevance to this situation or this tweet at all. And secondly, the most important and basic second grade concept that we should all understand, but for some reason we don't. This might be mind-blowing, but no one is responsible for anyone else's actions. If a crazy person shoots up a school and says, "Oh, I'm doing this because of some random YouTuber," is it that YouTuber's fault that they did that? Even if someone were to do that in the name of a president, is it still that president's fault that some crazy person with literally a mental disability most likely went and did something like that? Obviously not, because that's fucking retarded. Let's just put it bluntly, okay? The President of the United States is not inciting violence. PewDiePie is not inciting violence. And no one else that the shooter mentioned or the shooter had affiliation with or said at any time had anything to do with this mass shooting. And if you fucking idiots were to actually just read the very manifesto of the shooter, you would realize that by doing this, by actually going out and blaming other people for this guy's actions, you are literally fulfilling exactly what he wanted to happen. Oh my god, man. I'm done, bro. I can't even believe this, man. I cannot believe that we as a society have even survived this long, being that we are this stupid. I mean, I cannot even believe this. And the fact that this tweet got over 1.4k retweets and 10k likes. Oh my, I can't even, man. I'm done, bro. I'm going off Twitter, seriously. I'm never using Twitter again. This is stupid, okay? As for the families, everyone who was affected, there's no words. I can't even describe how unbelievably sorry I am and how I couldn't even imagine to be in that kind of a situation. For everyone using this to try to spread some hate train against PewDiePie or anyone else, I don't give a shit who it is. You're stupid. That's all I have to say. I'm getting mad, man. I'm getting a little bit too excited in this video, bro. That's all I have to say, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.